Welcome to the Spot Show. I'm your host, Jessica Lanice. On today's show, we will be discussing the evolution of body image and how media plays a role. After, we'll have our guest host, actress, inspirational speaker, and fitness trainer, Liz The International Diva, who will share with us about her latest ventures and new show. But first, let's go to my co-host, Camille J, to discuss what's trending in the evolution of body image.
Today we're talking about body image, a topic that I feel doesn't get talked about enough, and it's something plenty of women know all too well. Body image plays a huge role in our personal lives through self-esteem and self-love, and believe it or not, it shapes how we treat each other and how society classifies us. Society has allowed us to believe that we as women have to be these perfectly shaped Barbie dolls, each one just like the next, like we're produced on some assembly line. And the media is responsible for perpetuating this unrealistic ideology. We see it everywhere, from magazine covers to TV screens, and now even on the typical Instagram model. What a time to be a plastic surgeon. They must be making bank because getting your body done is as popular as buying a new outfit. And everyone's being praised for it. We see homegirl on Instagram getting all the likes, and then we get tricked into thinking that that's reality. Like that's what we have to look like, when it's nearly impossible. So how can we live happily when we're trying to achieve the impossible? I mean, it's hard enough being a woman already, but we gotta stay strong and help each other live in our truths and own it. So today I'm gonna go over to my panelist, Jessica Lanice, my co-host, and let's make sure we get on the right side of this body image stuff.
So, Camille, I absolutely agree with the trends that you mentioned for body image. Like, media kind of does play a part on how both men and women look, but what are your thoughts about it?
Um, like I said earlier, the media portrays what we think is now reality, and perception is 9/10 of reality. So if we're perceiving that this is what the ideal woman looks like, a Coca-Cola bottle or Barbie shape with the
Right.
nice chest, super thin waist, and like the
Like a
nice
big
hips,
butt, yeah.
then we're gonna all think that that's what looks good and that's what we all should be striving to reach, when in fact that shape is nearly impossible without having a surgery or some type of unnatural procedure in order to make that happen. What worries me being a teacher and working with especially young girls, these young girls are already looking at that and saying, oh, this is what I need to be. And it's just unfortunate because it's shaping what they think is real. It's shaping how they're viewing themselves and how they're viewing each other. And we already are so competitive with each other and trying to knock each other down, and then we're trying to now strive for something that's almost impossible. It's like we're like setting ourselves up to fail, and it's just sad.
Right, but do you think that body image kind of evolved a little bit? Because I mean, a couple of years ago, it wasn't about having the big boobs and the big butts and
It
all of
was
that. It's
like
like just being
this.
skinny, right? So do you think that it changed, or I guess it just depends on the person? Because I know that there may be skinny girls that want to be a little thicker, and then there's, thick women that want to be skinnier. But I guess it's probably just an individual thing.
I definitely think that the media is more people are realizing that that image that we were portraying so much is false. So I think that now we have like curvy girls, and now being curvy, we're accepting our curls, so curvy girls are in. Or like, remember back in the day, model, there was like a whole big thing with eating disorders.
Right.
Everyone was like going through an eating disorder because they wanted to be so thin. So now I'm happy that our voices are being heard, and there are those groups that are advocating for more natural bodies and curvy bodies.
But what about the ones that don't have it and now going to do butt injections and, breast enhancements, or even with the lips, like getting either they're reducing their lip size or enhancing their lip size.
I think like the plastic surgery offices everywhere have
Yes,
probably been
Dr.
getting a
Miami
boost.
is making a lot of
Been
money right
getting a
now.
boost because it's so popular. Like we see it on Instagram all the time. And just a regular person, then all of a sudden, wow, bam, bam,
Right.
cheeks everywhere, and their waist is like ridiculously thin, and everything else is ridiculously not thin.
Right.
And it's just that's what seems in right now.
Right.
Everyone getting that surgery, trying to get that body shape. So I do think that the body shape, the ideal body shape, has evolved a little bit, but
Mhm.
I still think that we're striving for something that's nearly impossible.
Right.
That you're not gonna get it unless you have the surgery.
Right.
There are people who are out. I'm not gonna say you're not gonna get it. There are people out there with beautiful bodies, and I appreciate a lot of different bodies, a lot of different shapes. But not everyone sees that, especially what we see on TV and what we see on Instagram, what we see on the internet, what's poisoning our minds every single day. And it's, if you see it every day and you think like this is what's it, you're gonna want to be that.
Right.
And then it comes down to self-esteem and self-love and self-worth, especially for me. Again, it always comes back to the younger kids that are looking up. Now, fortunately, we do see different types, like Aerie, the lingerie company. They do, them and a few other companies have promised to not alter their shoots. So
Oh, with Photoshop.
Photoshop. They're not gonna make their person. They're gonna like smoothen out the skin and make that look nice, but they're not gonna like inch a waist smaller or make boobs look bigger. A couple companies now have adopted that policy because it's kind of unfair if you are doing the Photoshop and you make this model who's on the cover, you make her look even smaller or different
Right.
than what she actually looks like. And it's like the kids, they're seeing this every day and they're gonna
Right.
think like this is what they should be doing.
No, I absolutely agree with you, and I do think it's a part of self-esteem as well. Like, to be honest, when I was younger, I always thought like having a big butt was in. Like, I don't have one. I ain't gonna front. Back in the days, like when I was younger, guys would be like, "Oh, she gonna have a big butt." But now I'm like older,
You
and
waited. You waited.
I don't have
You
it.
was looking for it every
But
day.
I think it does come with time where you just, accepting of yourself and not worrying about, just understanding like, okay, this is how I am. And it is what it is. Like I can't do, I mean, I can do something about it, of course, if I went to the route of doing the injections.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, I don't want to alter my body. Like, I'm okay.
But I think you're fortunate to eventually accept yourself who you are. Not everybody does that.
Right.
Not everyone reaches that place. Sometimes it comes with growth. A lot of the bullying and stuff does happen when you're like in middle school, elementary school, and high school. I have seen a lot of people when they get to college, that's when they kind of find themselves.
Right.
Just because you're just open to a whole new world, you're meeting a whole new set of people. It's like college and after, like between that time and 30, people start to accept themselves. But I've seen people that don't, and they never do, and they live
Right.
their whole lives in a shell, or their whole lives not accepting themselves for who they
And
are.
it's because of what they're seeing. Like, honestly, everywhere, especially like now, you got the social media models, you got like the models on the magazines. Like, I think everybody's so confused of where they want to be because you have two different looks, and depending on what's appealing to you, you're gonna want to try to idolize for yourself to be that way.
But I'm glad that so like we said earlier, the image has like evolved a little bit, and we are seeing more curviness versus
Right.
like people getting sick and doing like trying to be paper thin and everyone getting sick for it. Now we have gotten into the plastic surgery era, but aside from that, even like plus size is being more accepted because
Right.
there's so many beautiful plus size people out there, and they've been featured on Sports Illustrated magazines and all the Essence and all the magazines that we're going to, like 17 magazine, they featured a plus size model. So
Right.
and there recently a plus size model was like one of them on the
But-
runway in a major couture line. So I'm glad that it's starting to make its way through and be more accepted, but I think we still have a way to go with accepting
Right.
all different types of bodies.
But in the industry, plus size is size 6 to 8.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. And to me, in my eyes, I'm like,
That's not even plus size.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like every
So
half of
I
us
think it's like the industry
would be-
standard kind of does play a role in how we all think of ourselves and our body image. And I know even men are kind of like trying to change themselves with like makeup or knowing how to enhance themselves, give them what is
the
it?
couture.
The couture
I've
abs.
seen this on Instagram, and I was like a little bothered by it. So they had like the same way we couture our face and
Right.
like contour. I seen a guy do it with the abs, like fake draw some abs on with some makeup. I've also seen like so guys always had like the hair plugs, but I've seen like a beard like a beard weave, which was very interesting. But then at the same time, it was like a little weird for me to see. I'm not gonna front. But at the same time, it's like we do it all the time.
That is true.
We wake up and we put makeup on every day. We wake up and we change our hair, put on a wig, do whatever. So why is it okay for us to do it? It's not okay for them to do it.
Right.
I think right now it's just, since it's not that popular, it's a little taboo. It's like weird. But I mean, I'm sure guys may not be as much as girls, but I'm sure they look in the mirror and there's times they're like, yo, I just don't like how I look. I wish I could change it. I wish I wasn't going bald right now. I wish I could just throw on a weave the same way a girl does and call it a day. I don't know if guys actually do this, but if they do feel that, it's natural. So I feel bad for them actually, because they can't just go on and throw something. If we saw a guy you're dating and he had a beard and then he got home, y'all, and he just took the beard off.
I was like, yo.
That's weird. I've seen a whole video where, like, and they were making fun of this. It was like an Instagram comedy video. And a guy and girl were dating, and then when he got back to the house, he took off his hair. It was
I did see that.
And then he ended up taking off his legs, and he ended up being a guy in the legs. And he was like, what? Like, you have fake contacts, fake nails, so we do it, so why can't they do it? It's a little weird.
So do you think overall everybody should just be happy with who they are, or to each their own?
I think everyone sees beauty differently, but I think everything, like, there's a beauty for everything. Like, there's nothing that's not beautiful. So it's hard to, I'm not going to say it's easy, everyone just go out and accept everything. Not everyone's going to like everything, but live in your truth. Like, accept who you are. This is who you are. God made you this way, or whoever you believe in. That's how you are, and you're not the only one.
Right.
There's somebody out there, and there's somebody that's going to love you for who you are, so accept it. Own it, baby.
Right, absolutely. I think this was like a really good discussion. We really, got a lot of our own feelings out about this.
Jess, what are you doing? We're taping.
I know, but I mean, I just wanted to take a look at our new subscribers and followers on Instagram and Facebook.
We got the numbers going up? Okay,
yes.
Numbers going up.
But I really want more followers because we need to have the world know what's going on.
So why don't you tell them? Tell them to subscribe to our YouTube channel. The L Spot Show, duh.
Oh, yeah, and we need to tell them to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at the L Spot Show.
Exactly.
You know what? We'll get it in the next take. All right, let's look.
Okay.
Yes. Hey, everybody. So we're here with Liz, the International Diva, host, actress, fitness trainer, inspirational speaker. She does everything. And she's also known as Mama Sade.
Oh, gosh.
So, Liz, thank you for coming to the L Spot Show.
Definitely.
Thank you guys for having me.
Just tell us, what you have going on right now. What's new? Because it's been a while since we've seen you.
I know. I have a lot going on, actually. Some things, how you can't talk about. You wish you could, because you just want to share everything.
Just send the blessings, though.
I know, right?
Blessings.
May it all come your way, Jesus' name. No, I've got a lot going on, so, I'm very, very thankful to God. If it's not for him, then I don't know where I would be, right?
Right,
because,
absolutely.
It's not easy everybody's doing the same thing you're doing. Mm-hmm. What I'm doing is very similar to what you guys are doing, and our areas might be a little different, but it's still the same thing, and it's fun. So I love to be on shows like this because you learn something, you know? And, right now, Mama Sade, I kind of gave her a rest for a little bit, but she's back. She's back. She's live, she's coming back again.
She's definitely turning up our party.
Yes.
Mama Sade is that mother that I think anybody can relate to. She's that mom that you don't have to be of African descent. I mean, most of us are, but you don't have to have an African parent to experience the kind of parent that Mama Sade is. But Mama Sade, in her humor, so to speak, is trying to shed light on what's considered moral for an upbringing of a Nigerian child. So I think that when I relay that message, I bring back memories to people. I hear that from the fans all the time, like, oh my God, something I hated so much, I can actually laugh at it, or it made me the person I am today. So I try to stay in that lane. Every now and then people will hit me up and say, oh, I need you to do this and do that. And that's fine. But I kind of want to keep that motherly instinct going.
Right.
So that's where
Funny
Mama Sade
and
comes.
informative.
Exactly.
Relatable.
I saw a recent Instagram post where you said before and that now, where with the marriage proposal. I thought that was hilarious, and I feel like that was relatable for anyone.
Anybody.
Yeah, where it was like, if you had told your mom that you're gonna be a comedian or marrying a comedian, it's like a bad thing.
Right.
But then well, not married. It was he wants to be a comedian.
Yes, he wants to be a
Yeah,
comedian.
like
yes.
your book.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
thinking of two of your other.
Yeah, the other one where
Yeah.
he proposed with the grandmother's ring.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
you know, like, they say that an American person would be like, oh my God, it's so sentimental. Thank you so much. But you present that to a Nigerian woman and she's like,
You
that-
couldn't buy me
Right.
like you couldn't, I'm going to wear something from somebody dead. You know, like that's how they look at it. And it's like, go get 3 jobs and then come back. It's not that serious, you know. So, but I know it sounds like, oh my gosh, but that's just what
Right.
it is over there. Like the standards are crazy. You know, if you weren't a doctor, you weren't important. If you weren't a lawyer, you weren't important. So, you know, now it's interesting and it's also refreshing to see that
Right.
our families and our parents are accepting that, you know, we have talents.
Right.
And a lot of our talents are in the arts and the media and entertainment. And so it's being accepted. So we're trying to gradually show that, like, this is what it used to be. So,
Right.
you know, appreciate what you got going now.
Speaking of Mama Sade, how did you come up with what do you call it? Is it an alter ego? Is it a
I call it my alter
character?
ego.
So how did you come up with that?
Oh, my mother, of course. And you know what's interesting? She's there when I'm recording. And then she kind of looks at me, that is not what I do. That's not it. That's not it. I remember this particular one you're doing now. And I'm like, Mom,
She could do
I'm
it
the
better
one
than you.
that experienced it. Let me do it the way I want to do it. Like, she's like my director. When she's there, it's interesting. You know, and then sometimes she does like, is that what I do? That's how I said it? And then she kind of thinks about it like, okay, you know what? Maybe I need to relax a little bit. You know, so every now and then, and my brother, if I try to drag him in to do a video, unless it relates to him, he'll get into it like, yeah, when mommy shut me down, I'll do that one, you know. So I owe all that inspiration from the original
Right.
Mama Sade.
Right, and I saw, I think it was your mom's birthday a while back, and I
Yeah.
got to see her on live, and I was like, yes, this
You
is Mama
know, you
Sade.
saw
Yeah.
it. She kind of gave it to you, right? Live
Right.
and direct with the head scarf on and everything, the bonnet on and
Yes.
everything.
But
Yeah.
tell us a little bit of what Liz is doing
Yeah.
as actress, you know, host. Like, what are you working on now?
So right now, I'm still working on a web series, digital series called Afro-Americans. It's actually great. I mean, it's something where the African Americans and the Africans in America, I should say,
Right.
the Caribbeans in America, but of African descent, and Latinos too, can shed light on what it's like being in America, the hustle, the grind, what we're doing right now with the stress of our parents saying, when will you get married? You know, when are you going to settle down? And why is it that you want to go do that? Why do you want to be an actress? You know, that kind of thing. And so we try to take all those things and show the humor side to it, the romantic side to it. Because, of course, in your journey, you're going to meet somebody that you're going to love. So it's really interesting. We've been picked up by quite a few important people
Wow.
in the industry, so which is awesome. And I was very honored to actually host a sit-down that they had with you know, correspondents from New York 1, WPix 11. So it was awesome, and you got insight on
Right.
what that world is like. So I'm excited about that. I have a few other web series that I'm in, can't talk about, but excited about that. And again, it's just shedding light on what's going on. It's the daily
Right.
hustle and bustle. And as International Diva, I just recently put out my own media platform.
Yes, I saw.
And my
Congrats.
focus, thank you. My focus really is to shed light on the individuals right in our communities that are doing
Absolutely.
something, the superstars that you won't see on national TV, but let me be that person, you know. And I don't want it to just be me. If I say, Jessica, I need you and Camille, I need another platform to come and catch these people doing something
Right.
great, you know. Let us be that small media that catches somebody who's probably going to be really great, and we'll say that we saw it first, you know,
Right.
we interviewed them first. So
And it's
that's my
important
focus.
to do that, especially like in New York. There's so many talented people, so many hardworking people,
Yes.
and then there's space for everyone. This is
Right.
what you were saying, like, hey, I'm
Yes.
doing something similar to what you're
Yes.
doing. There's space for us. There's space for you. Look, we brought you onto
Hello.
our show, so no, we're proud of you.
Yes,
Thank you.
congrats. I'm
Thank
super,
you.
you know, I'm super
know.
happy for you because I know this is something that you really wanted
Yeah.
to do, and I'm just happy that you are doing it.
Yeah.
So I want to take it back a little bit
Mm-hmm.
of what made you want to start being an actress and even a media correspondent, a host?
It's always been in me, but again, being raised in an African home, they kind of put this thing in your head, well, you need to be a nurse, you need to be this. So I started nursing, I was like, that's not really for me.
Right.
But I know one thing is that I love helping people. I love making people feel good and feel happy. So if I'm gonna please the family, let me get into something. I mean, I went as far as my master's. School is nothing for me. You know, I
Right.
love going to school. I don't mind learning, but I realized I had this knack for being able to speak to people. You know, being able to grab one's attention, and I said, you know, why not just go with it? And it started with the whole Mama Sade thing. My sister was like, why don't you put that on Instagram? It's only the guys doing it. They need to see a
Yeah.
woman.
Right.
I mean, laughter is the best
Yes.
medicine anyway. So you're still like a nurse. You're still
Thank
helping
you.
everybody
No,
out.
Thank you.
absolutely. And you're a fitness trainer as well.
Well, I call myself a fitness enthusiast
Okay.
because I'm just being lazy to go take the test. That's horrible. It's horrible. Once I do that, then I can be a trainer. But
Okay.
I have my own ways of getting myself together and staying fit.
Right.
You know, when you're like 30 something years old, you know, it feels good when you're hosting and people are like, wow, you look great. And then when they find out your age, it's like, OMG. And I like that. You want to keep that. You know, they say black
Right.
don't crack. So let's keep it
That's
Yes.
very
smooth,
true.
right?
That's
Yes,
very
and I
true.
know over the summer you were working with me and my mom.
Yes.
We're getting us fit, and just even you. Also, what I liked about you is that you told us what we need to do internally, like nutrition, like really taught us a lot, and that is something that we still continue to practice of watching what we eat as
Yes.
well. So I really appreciate you for
Of
that.
course.
But let everybody know where they can find you. Like, where can they find?
And get all the
Yes,
services.
yes.
Oh my
If you
God.
need
Yes,
a
she
nurse,
does
if you need a
everything.
fitness
Well, if you
enthusiast,
like
if
she
you
said,
need a laugh.
if you need a doctor to show you how to laugh or to make you laugh, definitely follow me on Instagram and on Facebook at Mama Sade. So on Instagram is Mama_Sade, no H, so it's SADE. To find out everything else I'm doing in acting and hosting, it's Liz_the International Diva. That's INTNLDIVA. And same thing on Facebook as well. I also have a website, LizTheInternationalDiva.com. You can find me there as well. In terms of fitness, exciting news this summer. I found space in Canarsie. So if you are in Brooklyn, it's easy access for anybody coming from Queens too.
Yeah.
And that fitness, let's Afro fitness. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, wait, I'm excited for that. Yes.
Crew fitness day.
Yes, I'm excited for that. Thank
Yes.
you so much, Liz,
Thank
for
you.
joining
Thank
us.
you.
And we look forward for everything that you have
Yay.
going on.
I'm excited about
Definitely.
you guys too. This is great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's sad to say we are at the end of our show, but myself and Camille talked about so much, from body image to learning more about our guest, Liz the International Diva, and her new ventures.
So to stay updated with what's happening with our guests, the hosts, and the show, make sure you follow us on Facebook and Instagram at The L Spot Show. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, The L Spot Show, to see our latest episodes and some unseen footage.
Before we go, we'd like to say thank you to our production team for being so committed. To our viewers, thank you for watching, and make sure you too network and be recognized. See you next week.